Welcome in the arena. My name's Allison Klein. We are doing a very special episode today. I've got Tom Packett, Senior Vice President and GM of Sales in Europe and the US, and board member of Graid Technology with me, and Jacek Wysokinski, GM of Intel VROC at Intel Corporation. Tom and Jacek, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Allison.
Thank you.
So, Tom and Jacek, can you just quickly introduce yourselves and your respective roles at your company? Tom, you might want to go first.
Sure thing. Thanks. So my name is Tom Paquette. I am a Senior Vice President and General Manager for Graid Technologies, business in the Americas, and EMEA, and Australia, New Zealand. And I'm also fortunate enough to be a member of the board of directors.
And Jacek?
Jacek Wysokinski. So I'm part of Intel Corporation, and I'm responsible for Intel VROC. I'm general manager and running the business there.
So you guys made an incredible announcement today. Why don't we just start with a summary of the announcement? Tom, would you like to provide that?
Sure, Allison. So what we are announcing today is a definitive agreement between Graid Technologies and Intel for Graid to assume via license the responsibility to sell, support, maintain, and enhance the VROC product. And what that means is we are going to be taking VROC, which has been stabilized, if you would, functionally stabilized by Intel, and we're going to take it under the wing at Graid Technology and continue to move it forward.
Very exciting. I know a lot about VROC from my history, but for our listeners who may not be familiar with the landscape, can you explain the key differences between VROC and Supreme RAID?
Certainly. If you think about what we both do today, right at the core of everything, we solve the same problem, and that's helping customers protect data, which is arguably the customer's most valuable asset. And in doing that, ensuring resiliency across the board. We do this in two different ways. VROC, as you know, and Jacek will expand on this, is a CPU-based technology that's really tightly integrated with Intel Xeon platforms. Supreme RAID, on the other hand, uses the GPU for acceleration, and we offload the RAID processing, unlocking just massive amounts of throughput, which if you think about where does it fit in the world, artificial intelligence, machine learning, high performance computing, applications where speed and that all desired throughput are everything to the customer.
Mm-hmm. And Alison, if you think about, like Intel VROC, we are basically a hybrid solution, which is a very unique approach because we have gates integrated and technology deeply into the Xeon CPU, which basically creates, like a nice fusion of software and those gates that gives us ability to avoid additional, like HBAs in the system, etc. This, of course, makes it very simple, efficient. We are able to use just a sliver of the, Xeon CPU to provide great performance. And this basically satisfies great plethora of workloads across, enterprise data center usages, virtualization, or even workstations today. If you think about this, because we integrated everything already in the CPU that you have, it is a very cost-effective solution and, provides all the important features like blinking LEDs, out-of-band manageability, and, all the important stuff that people love. And, because you don't need to have hardware adapter, HBA card in your system, it also removes the space constraints from a lot of boxes.
Very cool. Now, with this acquisition, Graid is essentially consolidating two major RAID approaches under one roof. As you've described, GPU accelerated and CPU-based solutions. How does adding the latter change Graid's positioning in the marketplace?
I don't think it does at all, Allison. I think bringing VROC under the Graid umbrella, yeah, is going to allow our customers more flexibility. If you think about, traditional CPU RAID, which VROC is, its reliability at a great value, and the GPU accelerated RAID is for ultimate performance. So we think that this combination really sets us apart and positions us to benefit from, the growth. Everybody talks about the exponential growth or the explosion of data that we're seeing. And, some of the statistics say, look, the volume of data in the world is doubling every 4 years. Well, that data needs to be protected. And as Jacek mentioned a moment ago, we can now position ourselves to protect a myriad of different types of workloads, everything from simple corporate, databases up to the most highest performant artificial intelligence and machine learning applications. So it really broadens Graid's spectrum and broadens Graid's approach to the market.
And Alison, if you think from like the broader perspective, like how I see, what we as Intel VROC team bring to the picture, we are also providing, like hundreds of hours of collecting RAID and storage, expertise. So we think that this will definitely fuel the innovation and, combining the two solutions, thinking about, like different approaches that now become the fusion for even more innovation. It really gets us very, very exciting.
And I can't tell you how excited I am to bring these people into the Graid fold.
Wow,
there are some brilliant people in this group, and we're thrilled to have them.
Yep, and we are also, this is like deeply in our blood to be, like basically customer focused and obsessed. So we want their hearts, and we think that we're bringing a lot of not only the number of customers, but also their passion behind VROC. So we think that this also will help combined teams to basically work together and strive in the market. And if you think about what Justin said, it's like now you have the solution that not only works in the pre-OS environment, not only in all those OSs that VROC support and provide the workstations and other stuff. Now you're adding this extreme high performance solution on top of it, and it is just amazing to even think about the possibilities.
Yeah, Tom, from my time at Intel, I know how talented this team is. So I agree. What an amazing engineering asset. And so good to see this move. And Jacek, you mentioned the loyal customers. There's an interesting story here about Intel's initially tried to sunset VROC and getting pushback from loyal customers. It was quite interesting to see. What does that customer loyalty tell you about the responsibility, Tom, that you're taking on?
It's a massive responsibility, Allison, because if you think about it, we're not only managing hardware and software like we do today with the GPUs and Supreme RAID, and we will after closure of the transaction with VROC. I mean, we've got relationships that have been built on years of trust, and we fully intend to honor those. But it also means that we have to maintain the level of support and reliability that Intel customers have come to know, while continuing to innovate on top of it. So, and I think if you look at the combination of this brilliant team that we're going to bring over with our brilliant team, I think it's a tremendously winning combination.
Yep, and Alison, this is interesting that you mentioned this story because yes, for us it was this mixture of different feelings with her. We felt as a team that devoted decades to develop the technology and the product, to hear that there is a possibility of sunsetting this, etc. But I'm so happy that Intel heard the voice of customers and found a way to basically let this technology still thrive in the world and basically be available to our customers. That's amazing.
It's fantastic. Now, Tom, I do have to ask you, where does this deal take Graid Technology as a company? And you're managing a much broader portfolio and ecosystem. What is the long-term vision?
So I love our tagline that the team came up with, and that we're inventing the future of storage. With this acquisition of this talent from VROC and the ability to sell it and improve on it, we're not just adding a new product, right? Anybody can add new products, but what we're doing is we're going to extend our strategic capabilities. We're going to extend our influence in the industry, in the RAID business. Suddenly, we're taking two, I don't want to call us bit players, or we're taking two of the smaller players. Boy, you put us together, we're a powerhouse, and we are someone to be feared in this business with the breadth and depth of our offerings to customer. Leander, you are our founder. He's always had a vision, and the vision was not necessarily to be the only or the best GPU based RAID provider. It was to be the best RAID provider in the world. And we want to be that go-to provider for RAID, regardless of the application or the performance requirements. I think as we head down the road to closing this deal, we're well on our way to realizing Leandra's vision.
It's very exciting. And I think this is the kind of deal where you walk away and say, well, the customers have won. Where do folks go who want to learn more about what comes next?
Well, the first place is the press release. And aside from that, until the deal closes, we'll be, like any transaction like this, we'll be relatively tight-lipped about product and futures and all that stuff. There are a lot of things to be worked out still. But they can certainly find information post-closure on Graid Technology's website at graidtech.com.
Well, awesome.
Yes.
Go ahead, Yasser.
Yes. And Alison, in the meantime, of course, all the contacts that Intel VROC team has and all the accounts, etc., we are here to lead everyone through this, transition and make sure that this is fully uninterrupted, that we make it, as transparently and as cleanly as possible. So anytime our, VROC team is here to help and drive the conversation. So just reach us.
Well, thank you guys so much for bringing this news to Tech Arena. Tom and Jacek, it was a pleasure. I'd love for both of you to come back at any point.
Oh, sure.
Look forward to it.
Thank you.